Hi, my name is Alex Scott. I am a narcissistic abuse healing coach. So I help my clients heal the trauma left over from a narcissistic parent or partner. Although I was doing well in business and it's so rewarding being in the healing industry. I'm low-key obsessed. I really wanted to take my skills to another level. I wanted to go deeper in the work. And that's when I learned about Phoenix Path and just really felt that some of the modalities that Jessica was teaching within Phoenix Path were already some modalities that I was using with clients. But, new level, new devil. And I really wanted to go deeper. I wanted to be able to offer more to my clients. I wanted to be able to take on clients that have, larger, bigger cases, bigger T trauma, and feel prepared to do that. And really just confident in the skills in the space that I could hold for someone. I was looking to develop new skills as a practitioner, to go deeper in the work, not only for myself, but again, for my clients. And really, before I went to Phoenix Path, I think one of my biggest hurdles was I really was struggling to believe in the fact that I knew what I was doing and I know what I'm doing. I think, especially being in the healing industry, I was so caught up on I don't have letters by my name. I don't have a doctorate. Hell, I don't even have an undergrad. I was a dance major in college. And so I had a lot of imposter syndrome coming up as I was starting my business, because although I had certifications from other programs and I was getting my clients great results, there was still so much imposter syndrome around should you really be doing this? And shame kind of around who am I to really lead these people through this work? And as I got into Phoenix Path and we continued with the peer practice and all of that, I really started to see no, I know what I'm doing. I can trust myself more. And intuitively, I really developed a relationship with intuitively trusting myself, because before I would maybe have a client struggle with something in a session and second guess on what the textbook says we should do or how we should move through it. But what Phoenix Path allowed me to do, and Jess lovingly called me out on it a couple times, where it's she could see within me a prompt or something I was about to connect with the client on, and I would, bite my tongue instead of move through that intuitive feeling to help heal and help process. And she noticed that within me. And the more that I sat in that, and owned that intuitive, this is what I think this client needs right now, or this is the question to ask to get that client to have the aha moment or to connect those dots or whatever. I started to own no, I am capable. I can do this. I do know what I'm doing. I feel confident in leading the client through this and supporting them through this. And again, since leaving Phoenix Path, it's almost been a year now, the amount of transformation I've been able to give clients, even in my freebies and cheaper, low ticket programs. And yes, of course, high ticket, they still have wonderful transformations, but it's all across the board, because I feel I am more empowered to show up, more empowered to lead in that intuitive way, and really just trust myself and the tools that I give my clients. Feel confident in my abilities to get my client the transformation that they were seeking. It's funny because I wasn't necessarily intending on going into Phoenix Path to heal my own stuff, but of course, lifelong healer, lifelong learner. So that's just the name of the game, and that's always what happens. And what I got out of Phoenix Path even more was my own stuff, going deeper, healing my own stuff, having new awareness around things that I didn't necessarily, that I was, unconscious to. I didn't necessarily realize that some of those wounds were holding me back in my business as well. Since being in there in Phoenix Path, I've been able to step away with more awareness, more self-love, more confidence in how I am as a practitioner and the services that I offer, and the transformation that I can get my clients to as well. I think the other thing is just the amount of tools that I walked away from Phoenix Path with, not only for myself, but also for my clients, is huge. And being held accountable with doing the work and showing up for myself in this program only expedited the results I saw in my own self that much more. So, Phoenix Path really provided a space for me to practice what I preach, to go deeper in the work, to adopt new skills, new mindsets, new awareness around my own self-sabotage, and to move through it instead of avoid it, or instead of allowing the self-sabotage to continue, to really, love on that part of myself instead of shaming them or getting frustrated with them, because it just doesn't serve us in the long run. I really was drawn to Phoenix Path. I found out about it through a podcast, and then I lurked Jess a bit. I felt super attracted to Jess's calm, feminine, nurturing energy, which is the polar opposite of how I was raised. And so I knew that there was something about her that she had something that I wanted. She had skills that I wanted to also embrace and step into as well myself. I love so much about Phoenix Path was, one, the friendships that you make throughout the peer practice are so deep because they see your raw and vulnerable and sensitive sides. And so being able to stay in touch with some of my peers from the program as we continue holding space and taking each other through the work since the program is wrapped has been huge in continuing the work, not only in myself, but also just continuing to practice. The other thing that I really valued within Phoenix Path was having to meet people from all over the world that all had different systems and different experiences and different types of trauma and different wounds that were coming up. And so it gave me a lot of opportunity to tailor the different modalities we were learning within Phoenix Path, as well as things that I had learned outside of Phoenix Path, but to bring all of it in and kind of create like a melting pot of the way that I showed up as a practitioner that best suited the person in front of me. Because sometimes when we're in this industry and we're onboarding clients, we don't always know exactly who's in front of us until we're doing the work with them. And so having more experiences with different types of responses, trauma responses, different types of triggers, modalities that work for certain systems and not for others, right? And knowing how to adapt and how to pivot in the session in real time is huge, without feeling overwhelmed, without having my own triggers come up and my own limiting beliefs come up while I'm trying to hold space for a client and work through it with them. So that was really a powerful experience to have and practice to get under my belt as a practitioner in the space. As we peel the onion back of our own layers and our own wounds, it is an opportunity for us to go deeper in the work. And so it gave me an opportunity just to go deeper and love myself more. And I think that was something that I really left Phoenix Path with, was like an awareness of like, I am good at what I do, which before I was always second guessing, like, am I really good at this? And also just loving my innate authentic self even more because the program really provided me the opportunity to showcase my authentic self even more as the practitioner that I am. And so I developed a lot of love for who I am and how I be, which I think is invaluable. Like, you can't put a price on that because our relationship with ourselves really dictates everything. And so, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that I decided to do Phoenix Path, and I showed up and did the work, and just provided such a wonderful space for us to show up and do the work and ask questions and not feel silly for asking questions. And I highly recommend it. I think some of my biggest wins personally from this course has been the awareness of my freeze and shutdown responses, how they can show up, the stories tied to those responses, and how to manage them, move through them, and heal them. Because, entrepreneurship in general is a fast track to your own personal development and healing for sure, just because our self-sabotage all stems from trauma. And so being able to kind of see my blind spots in the program was wonderful. And I, again, so thankful for the program. I think I'm a better listener. I think I approach things with more curiosity. There was a part of me before Phoenix Path that if I was trying to get the client to tap into something, feel something, move through something, acknowledge something, there was a part of me that would almost panic if like the tools I was giving them like weren't really getting the aha moment I was hoping the client would have. And something that I feel I was able really to connect with Phoenix Path was that it's like, we don't need to panic, really building the rapport with the client to take them through the process together, instead of me being like, the one trying to pull them through the transformation. It's really valuable to be able to come into the session without an agenda, without necessarily a goal inside of like, this is where I need to get them, and way more just listen, hear what the client might not, is expressing, but might not be connecting, and work with them again from a place of curiosity without this must work or and assigning some kind of story of like, I don't know what I'm doing if it doesn't work or whatever. It's way more just like, we're going to whip out different tools in our tool belt and see what kind of zhuzhing we can do to get to, the goal that we're trying to reach in the session. I really feel my curiosity has gotten better as a practitioner. And again, like my confidence in the space that I can hold, instead of, assigning like again, imposter syndrome or a meaning of like, I'm not a good practitioner if X doesn't work, right? I still go through my Phoenix Path notes. Like I adore them. I loved everything I learned in this program. The way that I used to respond to education in general were really very much like from a place of tough love and from a place of suck it up type mentality. And Jess is the polar opposite of that. She is so nurturing and so safe and so calming. Even just, if I'm being honest, I'll still go back and listen to her Instagram stories just for a hit of that, because it's so different than how I be. This equal power, but different. Like what I value so much with Jess is the power that she has in the feminine, the power that she has with nurturing, holding space for me and going through my process, but also as a teacher. It's never my way or the highway. Just really likes to give you the tools and educate you on why the tools work and the process, these tools, the framework that they should adhere to, if you will. But she comes at it not from a place of like, my way is the only way or my way is the right way. She values that the students kind of take the modalities that they teach and make them their own in the way that they deliver these modalities. And I really value that, because that is exactly it. In the long run, all of us are different. We're all different practitioners, and all of us are wonderful practitioners in our own way. And we're going to have clients that resonate with us in our own way uniquely. And that's how we're designed. And that's how this work gets to be. And I really love that she values that and honors that within us as individuals, even though she very much has the way that she likes to do things and approach things. And so it's really wonderful. I really feel that Phoenix Path is a great fit for people who are in the coaching industry, who are either they're a healing coach and they're wanting to take their skills to another level and go deeper in the work themselves, or even someone who might be in a different niche, like a business coach, a content coach, whatever kind of coach, but wants to be trauma informed. Because I do think that something we see quite regularly is a lack of education on how trauma is self-sabotage and how it can really bring up a lot of hurdles for entrepreneurs in all different types of industries, that they aren't even aware that this is actually an unresolved wound that's keeping them from getting to where they want to be. And so I think that, again, whether you're a coach that is a healing coach and you just want to go deeper in the work for yourself and adopt new skills that really will transform the way you help clients heal. And also if you're a coach in a different niche, but you want to be trauma informed to ensure that you are meeting people where they are and helping them through the process in the best way that's for them and their system, Phoenix Path is a wonderful, wonderful investment. And it truly is an invaluable experience. And so for someone who's on the fence, I would say just do it. It's such a transformative experience. And I miss it. Like I look back on those months in Phoenix Path and how rewarding it was, not only for myself and my own process and going deeper in loving the little parts of me that feel neglected or exiled or shunned or whatever, but also since then, being able to just see how my business has grown and the impact that I've made is deeper and wider and greater. Like it's wonderful. It's so serving. And so I'm really thankful that I made the jump to invest in Phoenix Path. Not only getting to work with Jess and the people I worked with in that program, but also just for myself as the human that I am. I still use all of the tools that we went through in Phoenix Path. And so to say that it was life-changing is an understatement, honestly, because again, not only has it really transformed the way that I show up for myself in my business, like the blocks that I have on days where I'm like batching content and I definitely want to go into freeze response and like how I navigate that and love on that part of me, to even just like, again, the mother wounds that came up that I got to process and the people I got to meet in this program. Like it gave me so much. It gave me so much more than just increasing my skills as a practitioner. It gave me more peace. It gave me more joy. It gave me more clarity in so many ways. And it really ignited my passion for doing this work tenfold. I was passionate about it before. I'm even more passionate about it now. And to have that really shine through not only in content, but also with my programs with my clients, like, it's worth it. It's so worth it. And I'm so thankful I did it. Thank you, past self, for doing it. So yeah, I really think taking the plunge, and you owe it to yourself if you're serious about being in this industry for a period of time. You owe it to yourself to, one, heal your own stuff that might be coming up that you're unconscious about, that might be holding you back in your business, but two, to be able to support someone through their own process and their own wounds that are unconsciously holding them back. Like, it is so rewarding. It's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. And so I can guarantee that, like, taking the plunge, joining Phoenix Path, you're going to come out of it with a skill set that's profound and that really empowers you to meet clients where they are and really have a transformative experience through and through. Plus, your relationship with self is just so much better. Like, I'm just so much happier since then and going through all this work, and so much more self-aware. So do it.